My name is Marilyn Shipley. I'm one of the pension plan consultants with the CSS Pension Plan. You've been presented with a lot of options for your pension funds, and obviously you have a lot of things to consider when choosing the option or options for your pension funds governed by Saskatchewan pension legislation. This is the Saskatchewan Choosing module, and it will help you with some of those considerations. There is a different choosing module if you have pension funds governed by other jurisdictions. If you have any questions or require assistance in sorting out the retirement income options available to you, please do not hesitate to contact the CSS Pension Plan and speak with one of the pension plan consultants. In retirement, your income will be subject to risks: investment risk and the risk of outliving your pension funds. If you choose traditional monthly pension from the CSS Pension Plan or a life annuity from an insurance company, you are transferring the investment risk and the risk of outliving your pension funds to the issuer, that is the CSS Pension Plan or the insurance company. If you choose variable benefit payments from the pension plan or a PRIF or a RIF from a credit union or other financial institution, you are accepting the investment risk and the risk of outliving your funds. So you need to ask yourself, are you willing and able to accept these risks, or do you want to pass them on to someone else? Keep in mind that current statistics say that approximately 1 out of 4 Canadians will live till age 90. This chart gives you an overview of the different features of the various retirement income options available to you for your pension funds. The traditional monthly pension from the CSS Pension Plan can accept both your locked-in and non-locked-in funds. It provides you with a fixed income for your life, and any survivor benefits are taxed to either the beneficiaries or estate depending upon who gets the funds. And if you have a spouse, there are forms for your spouse to sign when setting up a pension. The variable benefit option from the pension plan can also accept both locked-in and non-locked-in funds. It provides you with flexibility in setting your retirement income, but you can outlive the funds. You are responsible for making investment decisions, which our pension plan consultants can help you with. Any remaining funds in your VB account will go to your heirs upon your death and are taxed to either the beneficiaries or estate depending on who gets the funds. There is a minimum payment you must take annually, but that does not start until the year you turn 72. So if you like, you can turn off or stop your payments until then. And if you have a spouse, or there are forms for your spouse to sign when setting up VB payments. A RIF from a credit union or other financial institution can accept non-locked-in funds. It provides you with flexibility in setting your retirement income, but you can outlive the funds. You are responsible for making investment decisions. Any remaining funds in your RIF will go to your heirs upon your death, but your estate pays the tax regardless of whether the funds go to your designated beneficiaries or to your estate. There is a minimum payment you must take annually, and that starts the year after you set up your RIF. If you like, you can turn off and stop your payments until the year you turn 72. A PRIF from a financial institution can accept locked-in funds. It provides you with flexibility in setting your retirement income, but you can outlive the funds. You are responsible for making investment decisions. Any remaining funds in your PRIF will go to your heirs upon your death, but your estate pays the tax regardless of whether the funds go to your designated beneficiaries or to your estate. There is a minimum payment you must take annually, and that starts the year after you set up your PRIF. If you like, you can turn off or stop your payments until the year you turn 72. And if you have a spouse, there are forms for your spouse to sign when setting up a PRIF. Investment management fees is another important consideration. These fees are typically referred to as management expense ratio, or MER, for investment funds such as mutual funds from the credit union or other financial institutions, as well as the CSS Pension Plan's investment funds. The MER is an embedded fee that is essentially deducted from the investment's gross return to arrive at the net return you receive as the investor. Over the years, these fees can have a significant impact on your investment. In 2020, the MER for the CSS Pension Plan's Balance Fund was 0.43%. This compares favorably with the median balanced mutual fund in the retail market, whose MER was 1.94% according to Morningstar Fund research. Let's do a little comparison. If we have two investment funds and both have a gross return of 6%, but one has an MER of 0.43% and the other has an MER of 1.94%, the fund with the 0.43% MER has a net return of 5.57%, while the fund with the 1.94% MER has a net return of 4.06%. Now let's have a look at the impact of MERs in dollar terms. If you have an investment of $100,000, it will cost you $430 in fees for the year if the MER is 0.43%. But if the MER is 1.94%, it will cost you $1,940 for the year. That's a difference of $1,510 in fees on $100,000 in just 1 year. Remember that these MERs happen each and every year, so over the course of your retirement, the impact of fees can vary significant. In 10 years, that could potentially be a difference of $15,100 on $100,000. The chart on the right shows the MERs of the CSS Pension Plan's investment funds compared with the median mutual fund MERs according to Morningstar Fund research. The CSS Pension Plan feels that it is very important that you make an informed decision when choosing your retirement income option or options. We are here to help you with that decision. If you are thinking about transferring your pension funds to a retirement income option outside of the pension plan, here is a list of some questions to ask the advisor you might be working with. How does he or she get paid? Many advisors are paid commissions and trailing fees from the investment funds you get through them. At the CSS Pension Plan, we get paid a salary. We do not get a commission or bonus if you choose a retirement income option from the plan. How much does the investment cost? From the previous 2 slides, we've seen how fees can have a significant impact on your investments. So it's important to keep fees in mind. The next 2 questions we'll deal with. What is the anticipated return of the investment, and does it fit your risk tolerance? Please remember that the higher the potential return, the higher the risk. As someone who is retiring or retired, you need to ask yourself if you're in a position and or willing to accept this level of risk. And last but not least, does the investment meet your retirement objectives? In other words, is it appropriate for you? This slide summarizes the considerations between getting a retirement income from the CSS Pension Plan or a credit union or other financial institution. There is a lot more investment choices with a credit union or other financial institution. But if you feel the investment funds from the CSS Pension Plan have served you well while you have been saving for your retirement, you can continue to invest in those same funds in or during your retirement. The investment management fees are very likely going to be higher through a credit union or other financial institution than with the CSS Pension Plan. The CSS Pension Plan offers retirement planning advice, while many other credit unions or financial institutions offer comprehensive financial planning advice. The CSS Pension Plan has a fiduciary standard to uphold with our members. Advisors from the credit unions and other financial institutions must perform a Know Your Client questionnaire before making recommendations that are suitable for the client. We have one office located in Saskatoon, so most of our members deal with us by phone or email. With a financial institution, you may have more of an opportunity to deal face-to-face. Ideally, you should contact the CSS Pension Plan about 3 months in advance of the month you wish to start drawing on your pension funds, so we can provide you with an application package or the forms to transfer your funds to a credit union or other financial institution. If you are starting a pension or variable benefit payments from the pension plan, we must receive the application forms by the 20th of the month prior to the month you wish to start your retirement income. Please note that we must receive all of your final pension contributions before you can draw on the funds or transfer them to a credit union or other financial institution. The Income Tax Act regulations now permit phased retirement, which means that you can keep on working for an employer member of the plan, continue contributing to your pension plan, and draw on your pension funds all at the same time. In other words, you can now semi-retire. However, there are a few rules. You must be at least age 55, only a traditional monthly pension or variable benefit payments from the pension plan are eligible, and your employer must agree to your doing phased retirement. So you need to check with your employer to see what is their policy for phased retirement. We caution you that this is not a way to afford to retire early. This may be of interest to you if you can already afford to retire but want to semi-retire before you fully retire. If you have a spouse, it is now possible to split your eligible pension income with him or her. If your spouse is in a lower tax bracket than you are, it is possible to save some income tax. If you can direct some income to him or her, the pension income splitting occurs when you and your spouse file your income tax returns, and no more than 50% can be allocated to your spouse. A traditional monthly pension from the pension plan qualifies as eligible pension income as soon as you start receiving it. However, variable benefit payments from the CSS Pension Plan, as well as RIF and PRIF payments from a credit union or other financial institution, are not considered eligible pension income until you are 65. Members often ask if they can transfer funds into their CSS Pension Plan account. The answer is yes, but there are some conditions. If you have funds in another registered pension plan, an RPP, you can transfer them to the CSS Pension Plan if the other RPP permits you to transfer out. Or if you have funds in a locked-in RSP or a locked-in retirement account, a LIRA, you can transfer them to the plan. If you have funds in an RRSP, those can only be transferred to the pension plan if you are or once you become a non-contributing member of the plan. Please contact us for details and the necessary forms if you wish to explore transferring other funds to the CSS Pension Plan. How much income will you need each year in retirement? The answer to that question is, it depends on how much you're going to spend. So, do you know how much you'll spend on housing, food, and other necessities? And what about leisure and recreational activities you plan to do in retirement? What will those cost you each year? Besides the retirement assets you are accumulating in the CSS Pension Plan, you may have other sources of retirement income available to you, such as Canada Pension Plan, or CPP, and Old Age Security at age 65. You may also have savings in RRSPs, tax-free savings accounts, or other investments and savings. If you have a spouse, he or she may also belong to a pension plan and have RRSPs, TFSAs, etc. So what you have in the CSS Pension Plan is just one piece of the puzzle. It might be a big piece, but it's still just one piece of the puzzle. These are all important considerations. So knowing how much you're going to spend in retirement will determine how much retirement income you're going to need. And knowing how much retirement income you're going to need will help you determine if or when your nest egg in the CSS Pension Plan is large enough to support your retirement income needs, along with the other pieces of the puzzle. Once you know the required asset level of your CSS Pension Plan nest egg, you can assess whether you are on track to achieve it. And once you have a plan in place, you can monitor it annually or more frequently to ensure you are staying on track as market conditions and your personal circumstances change. We believe that everyone needs some sort of plan for their retirement. Our online basic retirement planner is a retirement planning tool available to all members through the My CSS Pen area of our website. This tool can help you determine if you're on track to achieve your goals or not. If you haven't tried it yet, we encourage you to do so. This concludes Module 4 and our entire Retirement Income Options RIO webinar. We have covered a lot of information throughout the 4 modules of this webinar. Hopefully we have cleared up some things for you and answered some of your questions, but I'm sure you still have some questions or will have some later. Remember that we are here to answer any questions you may have about your funds in the CSS Pension Plan. So please do not hesitate to get in touch with us if and when you have any questions. Our goal is to help you make an informed decision. Thank you.